and that's when he devoted himself to making music and never looked back, being a mainstay at the Quality Control studio as early as 2015 due to his street ties in Atlanta. QC's co-founder Kevin Lee, aka Coach K, had already been trying to get Lil Baby to become a rapper, telling him that he had the look and the style. He was a star already, he just had to put it into music. Just like Big Bank had been trying to tell Marlo, the only difference is, Lil Baby started to hit the studio religiously, learning and working on his craft under established Atlanta artists like Young Thug and Gunna. After laying his first verse in early 2016, an entire year would go by before Marlo would even think about rapping again. The streets were being very good to him. He seen no need to switch it up, and his gang PFK had motion in the city. But things were starting to change around this time as well. Marlo's home turf of the 9th Ward was being overran by law enforcement due to the heavy drug trafficking and numerous murders.
Sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 shake, yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, say sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, say yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, say sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon'.
What up, YouTube? We back with another reaction video. This is part 2 of the Lil Marlo brutal life taking of Lil Baby's best friend, Atlanta Gang Wars by Beyond the Fame.
Despite the fact that Young Thug was one of Marlo's musical mentors earlier in his career, the gang ties in the city of Atlanta could become a tangled web, but one thing was clear. For the most part, it was PFK versus the city, but Marlo could care less about having a target on his back. At this point, he felt invincible, like he was immune to death.
The rapper side a little bit more, so you could accept more blessings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you too, though. But man, it be like in the street. Where I'm saying, street like I'm like Pookie to the street, like crack to me, guy.
But you know, you can't now that you like. You know, you on a different wave, on a different step. You can't react the same way.
I be trying to tell them, but that shit be hard, man. Like.
July 11th of 2020 would start off as another great day for Marlo, enjoying his success in the streets and in the music business. He would hit the studio that morning with 2 fellow QC artists, Bankroll Freddie and Lil Yachty. After that, he attended a party celebrating his hood on the west side called Bankhead Day. He would leave out at around 11 p.m. But 30 minutes later, Atlanta police would receive a call about a single vehicle accident on the highway, just west of the Benjamin E. Mays drive overpass. When the police arrived on scene, they would find Lil Marlo shot to death, and it's been said that over 100 bullets hit his vehicle.
Whole 100 shots.
What the? That's what that is? Ooh, God.
Police say someone shot and killed a man in a single vehicle wreck on the interstate. It happened on I-285 near the Benjamin E. Mays drive overpass, and it was around 11:30 Saturday night. Investigators believe the victim, Rudolph Johnson, was the intended target of that gunfire. Well, they're also working to determine the circumstances surrounding that shooting. There are several reports this afternoon that the victim was a well-known Atlanta rapper, Lil Marlo.
Lil Marlo's death had the streets of Atlanta in a frenzy, with everybody wondering who could have carried out the brazen hit. By this point, Lil Marlo and PFK had enemies all over the city, so there really wasn't no telling who could have killed the West Side legend. But that didn't stop people from having their opinions and theories of what they thought may have happened to him. One man who had a theory about Marlo's death was George Cheedy, a well-respected and well-known journalist in Atlanta. He stated that prior to Lil Marlo being killed, his older brother was accused of a murder that happened in a city called Brookhaven, just 20 minutes outside of Atlanta. It was gang-related with a mountain of evidence pointing towards Marlo's brother, and it should have been an easy win for the state. But multiple things went wrong during the trial, and the prosecution would fumble the case, ultimately causing it to be dismissed by the judge, despite the evidence obviously pointing at Marlo's brother. George did a DJ Vlad interview where he stated he had strong suspicions that whoever Marlo's brother killed, his people came back, and since they couldn't find him, They went after the high-profile target, Lil Marlo.
There was a lot going on with the Lil Marlo thing. Lil Marlo's brother was accused of a murder in Brookhaven, and that murder case went bad. And by went bad, I mean prosecutors had to drop the case mid-trial, which never ever happens. Like their two witnesses disappeared on them. So Marlo's brother gets off scot-free, and it makes you start to ask whether or not Marlo's murder was retaliation.
It's believed that their fallout is just a classic tale of friends turned enemies in the streets, due to his gang PFK having a very public and ongoing beef with its former Ninth Ward allies, 21 Slaughter Gang, who was also clicked up with another rival of Play for Keeps, who they had a very violent ongoing beef with as well. They were out of East Atlanta, PDE, Paradise East, or Paper Drugs Extortion. Their most highlighted member is the rapper Young Nudie, who's also the blood cousin of 21 Savage, and one of the more prominent members of the 4L Collective. The two gangs would diss each other back and forth in songs, daring each other to step. One rapper in particular signed to Young Nudie's PDE label, Del Cresto Wilson, aka Baby Drill. Some people believe that in certain songs, he flat out admitted to killing Lil Marlo.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Like on the track Send Deposit, where he raps about a CEO needing to buy their artists bulletproof whips, and how he hit him up with a 223. People suspected that this was a shot at the CEO of QC, Pierre P. Thomas. He had a viral hit with the song featuring Young Nudie called Done Stain, where he rapped about catching his first body at 18. Some of the lyrics used to prove that Baby Drill could have been the murderer of Lil Marlo would somewhat be disproven, due to the fact that at the time of Marlo's death, Baby Drill was past the age of 18, and the other lyrics about having bulletproof vehicles thought to be about Lil Marlo would soon be proven to be about a completely separate situation. It's been alleged that on April 8, 2022, Baby Drill went on a murder spree, shooting 28-year-old Grady Scott to death in Midtown Atlanta, and then killing another man that very same day named Quintavious Harris, aka Hard Body Daffy, a member of GF Goodfellas mob. Eventually, Baby Drill would be arrested on murder charges, but only that of Grady Scott, not for Lil Marlo or Hard Body Daffy, despite the fact that he's rapped about being the one who murdered him on multiple songs.
Stick my arms, trying to gun them down. They gotta let me in, cause I'm the one who really gunned them down. Oh God, listen.
What's up? Lamar. Alright, turn around. Turn around.
Why you taking him for? What's going on? You ain't gonna say nothing?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Hold up.
Sit down. Well, y'all getting up in my face, so y'all need to back up. Sit down.
Okay, you know what's going on now?
Nah, it's a warrant on me. A warrant on my arrest. I just heard him.
Oh,
yeah, there is a warrant. So
okay,
y'all need to back up off.
What you getting arrested for? We backing up off. What you getting arrested for?
Without my lawyer.
He's got a warrant for homicide. That's what. So you need to back up for me. Get in.
Hey, bro, they got a warrant for homicide, bro. It's how you buy your artist a whip, make sure they BP. Chop down shit at BP. Hit his out with 223.
Yeah, bro.
But ultimately, those murder charges would be dropped, and Baby Drill could walk free, allowing him to resume his rising rap career.
Oh, no,
another possibility behind the reasons of Lil Marlo's murder could allegedly be connected to his old gang that he was once affiliated with, GF Goodfellas mob. But this particular issue between them had nothing to do with the streets. This was over a woman. The story goes a high-ranking member of Goodfellas named Capo Nuke started messing with one of Marlo's baby mamas. But despite the fact that he wasn't even with her at the time, he still felt that it was disrespectful. It became well known that Lil Marlo was quick to put up a bag to take out his rivals, and that's exactly what happened to Capo Nuke. In the aftermath of his death, a subset would be created of his gang called Nuke Unit, dedicated to avenging his murder. The final theory in this story is also the most complex. There was growing speculation that Marlo's death came as a direct result of his reputation for putting bags on people's heads. But one of those bags that he put up would ultimately cost him his life. There were rumors that he put a hit out on young Nudie of Paradise East and 4L, as well as putting money on the head of 21 Savage. And in response, they put an even bigger bounty on Marlo's head, and eventually killing Marlo as get back. And his former gang, the Goodfellas mob, would be the one to pick up that bounty and carry out the hit. Some people believe that this is impossible due to the fact that a well-known Paradise East member, Baby Drill, has openly rapped about killing Hardbody Daffy, who was down with GF. But over the years, it's been proven that the number one rule in the streets is that there are no rules. Marlo's death would gain the interest of major news platforms such as DJ Academics and DJ Vlad, where they would talk about different theories surrounding his murder.
Be that successful, man, and to be that high profile, you know, when you kill someone, you know that when you kill someone of that caliber, it's not just going to get, you know, brushed under the rug. It's going to be a real investigation. There's a lot of, you know, we reported on it. All these, you know, TMZ reported on it. Everyone's reporting on it.
The question that remains is why would young Nudie, who's a successful rapper in his own right, and 21 Savage, who's an international superstar doing sold-out shows all over the world with Drake, be involved in any type of street business in Atlanta, and doors open in the music industry that most people could only dream of? Why risk it all over a gang war? But 21 Savage could also be seen on social media going back and forth with members of PFK, having arguments about who had the most clout in the city, who was doing the most damage, and who was dropping the most bodies. When young Nudie appeared on The Breakfast Club, some people felt like he was dissing Lil Baby after Charlemagne confused his 4L collective with 4PF. Young Nudie would quickly check Charlemagne, letting him know that it was 4L who was really running Atlanta.
But I see you wear the 4L too. That's Lil Baby.
No, we 4L.
Y'all what's Lil Baby?
They 4PL.
4PL.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference, man.
Oh God.
What's the difference?
Shit, we the biggest. Big 4L.
Big 4L.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I shouldn't ask no more questions.
You should.
Push your head up like y'all ain't dying in real life, man. Stop playing. Yeah. So you saying y'all undefeated on that side? Y'all ain't took no loss. Man, every that we beef with, 30 of they get smoked, and don't nothing happen to us. In real life, it's real life. Cause the niggas that I put out there spanking shit. So stop playing. Is that all that shit sounds good? Y'all ain't spanking nothing. Alright, look, you would die. You would die. You would die.
Hold on, check. Hold on, cause this a real PFK nigga.
Oh my God.
When I first came around, was he in the circle?
I was begging for real. I was begging and stripping this niggas. You talking about? We taught y'all how to step. All that cap. Y'all some rookies. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. None of y'all ain't talking about nothing. That's why y'all be kicked up with everybody. You talking about? That's why y'all just beg for sit downs and shit.
Everybody else just let it be what it is, gang. You the only one that do that, bro. You the only one speak on the internet. You the only one be commenting on when niggas be dissing. Everybody else just let it be what it's gonna be. You know why? Cause we was locked in at a point in time.
There were also reports on the internet that a gun found at the scene of Marlo's death was registered to none other than Hood Rich Pablo, somebody that he had issues with previously. But many people would brush this story off to the side due to the fact that the drug-rich gang he's affiliated with is more known for dealing and getting money than actual gunplay. The wars that were already going on in the streets of Atlanta became even more violent. PFK was getting active, and everybody was also expecting Marlo's best friend and a man that he spoke extremely high of, Lil Baby, to step in his honor. But by this time, Lil Baby was officially one of the biggest stars in rap, with the entire world to lose. A lot more than just a trap house and a couple of pounds like back in his trapping days in Oakland City. When Lil Marlo's death initially occurred, Lil Baby did put up a tribute post, but it was quickly taken down, never to be seen again. It's said that occurred because his baby became more a part of the mainstream music industry. He wanted to disassociate himself with any street violence. with evidence of that being the rebranding of his 4PF label associated with his Oakland City neighborhood, now being called Glass Window Entertainment. But now he was one of the top streaming artists in music, not just hip-hop, but amongst every genre. In 2022, Lil Baby released a documentary where he would finally straight up address the death of his best friend, Lil Marlo. Although it seems to be as simple as Lil Baby knowing what Marlo was into in the streets of Atlanta, he stated that Marlo was well aware of what came with the street life, even the possibility of death. But from his demeanor in the interview and the tone of his voice, it seems like it was just a situation that was completely out of his control, and there was nothing that he could do about it. It said that Marlo had gotten so reckless, he started putting hits out on people that Lil Baby was cool with, putting them in a very awkward position.
Just see your man slumping on the expressway, you kind of feel some type of way. But if you know the situation and you know what's going on and you know at the back of your head, you know they still come with it. That's a part of the streets. Some people get killed. I know that come with being in the street already. It ain't like Marlo got killed and I was like, damn, boy, you can really get killed out here. I know this. This ain't nothing I don't know.
Some people believe that Lil Baby's rebrand wasn't just a strategy to keep his image clean in the music industry, that it was also to avoid a Georgia State RICO case that started getting handed down by Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis in 2021. Mainly stemming from the high-profile beef between YFN and YSL. Lil Baby and Young Thug were very close due to an OG that they were connected through in Atlanta. Young Thug and Lil Baby would both take shots at YFN in songs. With Young Thug rapping in Haitian slang, everybody can't get it, I ain't from Summer Hill but I'm visiting. And Lil Baby rapping on the song Get Money, I'm from Atlanta to Summer Hill, I can't play around cause I know it's kill. Making a subliminal reference to the numerous shootings between YFN and 4PF, which would reach its boiling point on December 10th of 2020, when YFN Lucci and some of his gang affiliates decided to slide down to 4PF territory looking for ops. They found who they were looking for and immediately opened fire, ultimately hitting 32-year-old Kevin Wright in the stomach. 4PF members would return shots at the vehicle, ultimately hitting one person inside, 28-year-old James Adams. People who happened to be walking by and seen the entire thing tried to give him assistance and call 911, but it was too late.
Oh, we need an ambulance. Oh, somebody is laying out. Somebody, I don't know if he barely. Let me connect you to the line. He said somebody just threw him out of the car. Let me connect you to the ambulance.
The 2020 death of James Adams, as well as the high-profile 2015 murder of Donathan Nutt Thomas, who was killed in a brazen broad daylight shooting outside of an Atlanta barbershop, would all be contributing factors to the YFN and YSL RICO cases that would ultimately come down. Legally, Lil Baby didn't have anything to do with the case, but soon he would be front and center, because his former friend and frequent music collaborator Gunner was also arrested as a part of the YSL RICO. But in early 2023, after being locked up for about 6 months, a video would be released of Gunner in court, seemingly telling it all, agreeing with the state prosecutor that YSL was indeed a gang that needed to be dismantled. The case would start a heated debate online. Some people believe that Gunner did absolutely nothing wrong and that he looked out for himself, because at the end of the day, self-preservation rules the nation, while others flat out called him a snitch, including Lil Baby, who took aim at Gunner on multiple songs, referencing that Slime wasn't happy with what was going on, meaning Young Thug. Once Gunner was released from jail, he would drop a solo album addressing all of his haters, including Lil Baby on the song Bread and Butter, where he goes at Lil Baby saying that you still cool with the same people that had your friend killed. Also referencing how Lil Baby did absolutely nothing in retaliation for Lil Marlo's death.
YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Got locked up with Young Thug and the rest of the guys
on a RICO charge. It was a state RICO charge. And essentially, he got out in about like 6-7 months. He basically admitted that YSL is a gang. You flipped on me when you know you was in business with a rat. Okay, that's clearly for Lil Baby. You still with a nigga that got your partner whacked. I think this was meant to be still at Lil Baby, but I think the partner they're talking about is Marlo.
Years later, and the death of Lil Marlo still remains unsolved, leaving his father, Rudolph Johnson Sr., searching for answers that he may never get. But even after his death, the war between PFK and 21 PDE still rages on in the streets of Atlanta, which could be seen on multiple online videos of both gangs sliding through each other's territory looking for ops. Lil Marlo had the opportunity to change his life for the better, not just for himself, but for his kids, who he obviously deeply cared about as well. But his struggles to leave the streets behind would ultimately cost him his life. And Lil Marlo, he was only 30 years old when he died. Rest in peace.
Oh, that's saying. Alright. So that was the end of the video. Lil Marlo, the brutal life taking of Lil Baby's best friend. Atlanta gang wars. It's a lot. Like, nigga, it's like 1,000 gangs. And just like everywhere else, a lot of the people initially were cool with each other. And then things happen, they fall out, and a plethora of crime ensues. Like, it's ridiculous. It's really no stopping this shit. Like, I don't see how you stop this. I think everybody else that's just not into it need to just get away. Like, this is crazy. That is the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, ain't till live is the conquer. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See this game turn me into a monster. Hey, I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, till live is the conquer. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See this game turn me into a monster. I'm a cowboy, can't stop. Hey, all that pain got me feeling jaded. Many with your rope when to make it. Still plugged into the mix, but lagging out before the update. Drop back in, different time, same location.